Call in, guys. Talk to me nice.
Welcome back to Sports Tea. Welcome back to Sports Tea.
Talk to me nice. Nice. Call in, guys. Talk to me nice. Call in, guys. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Tea. Sorry about that. I think like StreamYard or YouTube, something happened. It was all glitchy. It was like they weren't ready for me to go live twice in one night, something like that. But salute to everybody who's joining this stream tonight. I really, as much as I know that you guys love me talking about the Lakers, I know it's a lot of fun to cook their asses. I really do love it. I do. But I have to say that there's just some really great basketball being played, and I don't want to focus on the bad all the time. I want to celebrate some of the really great, regular season games that we're seeing. I mean, when you even think about like forget the elite teams like Boston and the Cavaliers, and OKC. The Hawks are fun to watch. Even the Pistons have gotten so much better. The Spurs have been, a team that I mean, I know that there's some things now happening with the Spurs that I'll get into another stream, but basketball, the NBA, there are teams playing good basketball. It's the old heads that we have to get out of this league. And I would say with the exception of Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, he's playing well, but his team is awful. They're a disgrace. The Lakers, we have to constantly talk about the Lakers because of LeBron. We have to talk about his bum son, Bronny. I mean, I want to talk about teams like OKC. I want to break down what they're doing. And I mean, the game that we saw with OKC versus the Celtics, that was like a finals matchup preview. And I want to have a lot of fun this year with the playoffs. So I look forward to some really special content surrounding the playoffs this season. But let's jump into this OKC and Celtics game. Jayson Tatum, he showed up for the Celtics. He was their guy, obviously. Jaylen Brown, their duo just failed. Jaylen Brown did not play very well last night. The OKC held him to just 10 points. SGA, he took a lot of shots. The OKC shot a lot. They shot the ball a lot, but they shot the ball a lot less than the Celtics. And we're about to see, I mean, the Celtics shot themselves right out of the game. I mean, they shot their asses right out of this game. It was ridiculous. It was awful. It was awful to watch them shoot 63 3-point shots. But salute to everybody who's joining the stream tonight. Welcome on in. As you load into the room, do me a favor and like the video, share the video, get the word out for Sports Tea. Help me grow the channel and expand the channel by sharing it on your social media. Let your friends know. If you like the content, just let people know about it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But welcome on in. Come on in, like the video, smash the like button for me. Who do we have in the chat tonight? So we have my girl Spurs, Ann, one of our members. Pizza Time, another member as well. Tasha, hello. Welcome on in. Nice to see you again. Tiger Claw Gaming, I love this name. D Mac, good evening to you as well. Smiley Smile. D Frequency, hello. Welcome on in. Shout out to all the moderators that are here tonight. Bada, how do I say your name? Put the pronunciation in the chat. Bada Nana? Let me know. Okay. So let's talk about this game. OKC versus Boston. This was, for a lot of folks, it was being considered the finals. It was supposed to be like a finals preview, right? And I actually don't know that it was. I really don't know that it actually was that, but I do want to talk about this game. I think that there were a lot of good things about this game for OKC in particular. And I think that there were a lot of interesting things that the Celtics did that we're going to talk about. So when we just take a look at the team stats, we have the team leaders. SGA, 34 points, 11 of 20 shots, 10 of 11 free throws. Jayson Tatum, 33 points, 12 of 23 shots, and he was 100% from the free throw line. So Jayson Tatum, he didn't have a bad game, but his team still lost. And when you take a look, they just shot so poorly from the floor and from three-point land. OKC, they didn't need nearly as many shots as Boston did. They had a better field goal percentage. They had a better three-point percentage. They took 37 threes, and the Celtics damn near doubled their three-pointers for the game. They shot 63 shots from behind the arc, guys. That's not basketball. That's a three-point contest. 31% from three as a team. OKC, they had a differential at the free throw line. They shot 35 times from the line, but is that a differential? I mean, it is a differential, but it wasn't like the refs were helping them. No, they got in the paint. They played inside out. The Celtics just literally shot from three the entire game. So they weren't going to get very many fouls. They didn't make it to the free throw line. And quite frankly, the refs weren't going to reward them for having a three-point contest. Why would they? One thing I will say is that OKC needs to work on their free throws. They're not shooting very well as a team from the free throw line, and they need to fix that. So if they want to have a deep playoff run, that is going to be critical to their success. That could be one of their Achilles heels, if not the Achilles heel, if they don't fix it. But they out-rebounded the Celtics. The Celtics had more assists than OKC did, which was interesting to me that they assisted the ball better. They had more stops. Boston looks like they had a better defensive game than OKC. That's what it looks like. They turned the ball over more, 13 turnovers. They conceded 16 points off of those turnovers. So Boston, they played poorly. They played one of their worst games of the season. OKC scored 8 more points in the paint than they did. That matters. It matters. Take a look at what OKC did and their teammates did. They came along with Shea. Chet Holmgren had a great game. He was 50% from the floor, 50% from three. He also will need to work on his free throws. Dort didn't hit any free throws. He needs to work on them. But OKC played as a team. You got participation from the bench. 3 of their bench players, 10, 11, and 11 for Williams, Hartenstein, and Joe. They showed up. They didn't just leave Shea to carry the bag alone. They all came and helped him rob the bank. That's what you have to do. Now you take a look at the Celtics. Awful. Their bench didn't deliver. Pritchard, 8 points in 25 minutes. They needed a little more from him. He shot 9 3-pointers, only hit 2. Tatum, 13 3-point shots. He shot 13, 4 of 13. Looks like a tour date. Al Horford, 6-12. It's just like 12 3-point shots for Horford, White, and Tatum. That's like 45 3-point shots between 3 of them. This is a joke. This isn't basketball. This is a 3-point contest. And I don't believe that the Celtics are actually serious right now. I don't believe that their regular season play is their serious strategy for the postseason. They don't play like this in the postseason. They have always been a high volume shooting team, but they literally shot 63 shots from behind the arc. The amount of threes that they're taking and missing is concerning, and it's going, if they continue like this, they're going to get bounced in the first round. They're not going to be able to shoot this volume of threes and miss them in the postseason. It's not going to work. So they're going to have a mixture of playing in the paint and taking good shots. They cannot continue to just miss these kinds of wide open threes, force these threes. Oklahoma City, they forced them to take these 3-point shots as well. So it wasn't just like they took 63 threes and it was all by choice. The Thunder were forcing this as well. They forced them into a lot of 3-point shots or a lot of bad shots because they had to just throw something up there. But when you take a look even at the shot selection, look at all these 3-point shots for the Celtics. They took way more threes than they took mid-ranges or shots close to the basket. I mean, they'll get close to the basket and just kick it out for a 3. Imagine if they focus on high percentage shots in this game. They just didn't take them. Look at the attempts and look at the misses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They missed 8, 9 shots from inside in mid-range, and they made so much more of them, but they refused to take them. That's the problem. Take a look at OKC. They were missing their inside shots. Celtics didn't miss many because they didn't take them. That's a problem. You take a look at SGA and Tatum. Look at all of Tatum's missed threes. SGA missed quite a few as well. He's just not a good 3-point shooter. He got to the line. He attacked. He attacked and got to the line. Then he got to the line, 12 times? 11 times? Something like that? Look at them in the fourth quarter. SGA and Tatum. Tatum only hit 1 shot in the fourth quarter. SGA hit 2. So Tatum gets outplayed by SGA in the fourth quarter. And I mean, look, he had no co-star. Jaylen Brown was like, he was detonated in this game. And that's a guy who comes alive in the fourth quarter, is able to explode. He couldn't help them. Brown wasn't able to lift them in this game. But Tatum didn't either. He missed all these shots. He only made 1 field goal in the fourth quarter. They needed a lot more than that in order for them to beat OKC. Now, Kendrick Perkins had quite a bit to say post-game. I'm going to play it for you guys.
What do you think the Instagram caption for SGA is after a game like this?
It should be Shea Butter.
It is he is always dropping bars, just like he is dropping 30 pieces this season. The Thunder sweep the regular season here against the Boston Celtics, just as we all predicted would happen, right? In the pregame show.
What we predict?
We all went with Boston, and we were all proven wrong.
That's
here,
right.
Perk.
Got a good guy.
We just watched. It looked like an NBA Finals preview.
Oh, it is the NBA Finals matchup. I got OKC representing the West, Boston representing the East. But look, here's the thing. Tonight, OKC showed the non-believers that they belong. They showed that they could switch it up and fight whatever style fight y'all want to fight. We could do it. They tried to throw the kitchen sink at SGA. We saw at times they was double teaming him. We saw that they were we saw that at times they was playing the zone. None of that mattered. He controlled the whole tempo. Set the tone for his 2 bigs, who I thought was phenomenal tonight, Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren, I said tonight, he got to be the factor. He got to be the point. He was, especially without Jalen Williams tonight. Impressive win for the Thunder. Great win for the Thunder. It was a must-see TV action.
So the pathway for the Thunder to getting to the title is getting this type of play from Chet Holmgren. So in this game, we saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander basically have a smooth SGA game. He had 33 points on 20 shots. That's what he does. Frankly, that was an average performance. His average was way up here. Jayson Tatum, excellent game. 33 points, made a big impact. Chet Holmgren was just the better supporting player than Jaylen Brown. Chet Holmgren, and not that they're playing head-to-head, but Chet Holmgren beat Jaylen Brown. The Thunder bench, despite being down a couple of players.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso didn't play. Jalen Williams didn't play. The Thunder bench outplayed the Boston bench. And Boston had a bad three-point shooting night. When they have a bad three-point shooting night, their margin for error goes way down.
And with the win, OKC, they do clinch a playoff spot here. But can you bet on Boston having a bad shooting night 4 out of 7 games?
Maybe not. But if Chet Holmgren can play like this with Jalen Williams, it opens the Thunder's margin for error and shrinks a team like the Celtics.
But go back and watch the film and watch this game over again. A lot of them were like the Thunder forced them to miss shots. It wasn't a hope y'all miss. It was I'm gonna make you miss. And again, that is a team right there. That post-game interview, that's not a front. That's a real team. I love it.
Kendrick Perkins, I think a lot of people they're willing to put the cart before the horse. And I just think, again, I think the Celtics are playing around all throughout this regular season, shooting volume threes. Joe Mazzulla came out and said he doesn't watch the NBA. He doesn't like it. There's no defense. All he's doing is exploiting the fact that he doesn't think it's a defensive league. He thinks it's a cookie cutter league, and they are going to unleash in the postseason. The Celtics have had historically great defense over the past several seasons. I don't believe for a second that they're going to just continue to shoot these perimeter shots in volumes come the postseason. They're smarter than this. They are defending their title. I'm not saying they're going to win because the Cavaliers are playing well. But I do think that the Celtics, what they're doing right now is they're tricking teams. They're making teams believe that they can be had. They're letting teams think that they can be beat. They have a great team. And I think that they're just preserving themselves for the postseason. That's what I truly believe. I'm not saying that OKC isn't legit. That's not what I'm saying. They're clearly legit. They're the first seed in the West. They're beating everybody handedly in the West. It's not close. They just beat the Nuggets, the 2nd seed. They're going to continue to tear through the West Coast and a lot of the East Coast as well. So OKC, to me, they are legit. I just don't believe that they are necessarily a lock to win the title. I think the East is going home with the title this year. I do not think it's going to be a West Coast team. No, I really don't see that happening. So, I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'll read some comments. Chet was decent. Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't think that in the postseason that he's going to have the experience to show up. I think he's still inexperienced. He's fragile. I think that he's prone to injury. At will, he can just go down. Bryant Windbag is a clown too. All these guys on ESPNs are straight clowns. Rasul, salute to you. Prodigal, smash the like button and subscribe. Yes, do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, run over and subscribe as well. The media all hates the non-American players and don't care for the European players, but are okay with SGA and the Canadians, even though they are not American. Take a guess why. This is an interesting comment because I don't agree at all. I think that I don't think that the media hates non-American players at all. I think they love them. And I think that there's a campaign for them for absolutely no reason. Jokic and Luka Doncic, I mean, you guys don't see what I'm saying here. I mean, look at them. We have a fat Luka Doncic that people are saying that is better than LeBron James at age 25. That's what people were saying about him last season when he led the league in scoring at 34 points averaged a game. We have Jokic, who's just like a dad bod. Like, what are you guys talking about right now? Look at this guy. The media hates them. They just gave, isn't Jokic a 3-time MVP? Isn't he on his 3rd MVP? And they're trying to give him another one this season. How does the media hate him? They make excuses for him before the game even starts. Same thing for Luka. The media hates these guys. The media hates SGA. The media also hates Jamal Murray. They bash him for filth. If Jokic doesn't win, they immediately blame Jamal Murray. When Luka Doncic couldn't make deep playoff runs, they needed to protect him on defense. That's what Jason Kidd said, that they needed to protect him on defense. They needed to work harder to protect him on defense. This season with the Lakers, oh, you're going too hard on him. He's a month out from injury. He's nursing a back injury. No, he's fat. Look at him. The media doesn't hate non-American players. These are DEI hires. DEI. Exhibit A, Exhibit A. Don't tell me the media hates these guys. Not when they're trying to crown them as leaders in the face of the league. MVPs. This is not the picture of an MVP. This is not an MVP. This is a dad bod claiming to be playing the best basketball of his life. Because the NBA and the referees are going to do what? They're going to make it look like that. They're going to send them to the line. They're going to let them, run over defenders. But I'll let you guys tell it. The media hates the non-American players, and they love the Canadians. SGA was snubbed for MVP last season. They're trying to take the MVP away from him this season as well. And they're trying to force Jokic on us as MVP again. And they keep moving the goalposts. Every season, there's a different reason why SGA or, another player besides a Jokic or an FNBA player doesn't deserve the MVP. So I don't understand that comment right there. Confused. Okay, guys. Well, let's move on to our next topic of the night. And that's Jayson Tatum. There's been a lot of Jayson Tatum slander. There's been a lot of chatter surrounding Jayson Tatum. It's a huge debate whether Jayson Tatum's a superstar in this league. And they've made it about so many different things. They've made it about him having a shoe deal. And he does have a shoe deal, but because he's under Michael Jordan, that means he's not a superstar. Luka Doncic is on the Jordan brand. Does that make him not a superstar as well? What is the criteria for superstar? It seems like we just move this word around and we say this word and we don't actually know what it means. And we don't actually have criteria that makes any sense. We just make up things because we want to call someone a superstar or we don't want to call them a superstar. To me, if you're a franchise player in the league, if you have gone on deep playoff runs, if you are in MVP conversations, you are a superstar in the league. If you have a signature shoe, you're a superstar. If you're an NBA champion, you are a superstar. If you are the number one option on your team as an NBA champion, you're a superstar. Jayson Tatum is a superstar in my opinion. Is he underrated though? That is the question that I think begs to be asked. When you see things happen like he was a DNP in the Olympics twice. when you see that he's passed up for Finals MVP as well as Eastern Conference Finals MVP, when those things happen, you question these things. Is Jayson Tatum a superstar? Is he underappreciated, underrated? So to me, underrated would have to mean that you're ranked down here and you should be ranked up here. And I don't think that Jayson Tatum is underrated. His rating, I think, is amazing. I think that people view Jayson Tatum where he belongs for the most part, as far as the media is concerned, as far as like where he stands in an MVP ranking. And I do think that he's, somewhere between 3 and 5. I think he's a top 5 player in the league. I think for sure he's a top 5 player in the league, and I think for sure he's a top 5 MVP candidate. I don't think that that's underrated. But what I will say is that he's disrespected as a superstar in the league, and I think that there's awful narratives going around about Jayson Tatum. And I want to play for you guys some sound from Colin Cowherd, where he discusses his thoughts on Jayson Tatum and whether or not he's a superstar. Let's hear it.
In the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, Jaylen Brown was the MVP, not Tatum. That's not an opinion. In the Olympics, they wouldn't play him. In the gold medal game, he had 2 points. You are trying to make him Jokic, Giannis, Steph, and LeBron and Luka. He's not in that class, and all the numbers prove it. By the way, you know who else proves it? Shoe companies. LeBron, Steph, KD, and Ja Morant have their own brand. Tatum doesn't. He's got a shoe under Michael's brand. You're the one trying to get me to compare him to superstars. There's not a lot of aura there. There's not a lot of personality. Jayson Tatum's going to retire. 4 years later, there'll be no Jayson Tatum talk.
That's pretty damning. That's some damning sound, right? 4 years from the time that Jayson Tatum retires, there'll be no Jayson Tatum talk, even though he won a title for the Celtics, one of the most winningest franchises. He actually eclipsed the Lakers for banners. That's a big deal. And I think that people look to disrespect Jayson Tatum so much. And I'm really not clear as to why. I think that it's a shame that he was a DMP in the Olympics, that Steve Kerr went up to him right before the game and says, hey, I can't seem to find any minutes for you to play you. It's very disrespectful. I think that Colin Cowherd talking about a goddamn shoe deal, how does that make or break his superstardom? The fact that he's under Jordan means he's not a superstar? Does he have any idea how big Jordan Brand is? Does he realize that people wear the Jordan logo on their NBA jerseys? Does he realize that Jordan Brand is huge? Does he realize that Jordan Brand eclipses the brand that LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and other signature Nike stars have? At the end of the day, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they're under Nike. They're under Phil Nike. So because they're under Jordan, a black superstar with a black-led brand, that means that he's not a superstar? So it's okay for LeBron and KD and Ja Morant to be under Nike, but it's not okay for anybody to be under Jordan Brand. A huge brand. Huge brand. It's $1 billion brand, raking in way more dollars than anything that LeBron, KD, and Ja Morant are doing combined. So what are we talking about here? Colin Cowherd, I think that his take was misplaced, and I think that it was irresponsible, to say the least. And it's a disrespect to Jayson Tatum that he just doesn't deserve. I think part of the problem with Jayson Tatum, and I'm just going to say it flat out, he's never been the best player in the league. He's never been the best player in the league, the bona fide best player. We've never been able to point to him and say, Jayson Tatum is the best player in the league. Never. We've never been able to point to Jayson Tatum and say, Jayson Tatum is the best wing in the league, that he's the best small forward in the league. And I get it. He's made first team All NBA. I get that. But there's been several seasons where people would say that Kevin Durant is better. I mean, look, they played him over Jayson Tatum. They played Kevin Durant, LeBron James. They played every superstar small forward over Tatum. And I like this comment here. What do they say? You need heroic charisma to be a superstar. I just don't know that he doesn't have charisma. He does commercials for Nike. He's a huge star. He's a huge star. Huge star. I don't believe that Jayson Tatum has no charisma. I just think that he's never been the clear-cut best player in the league. And I don't think that he's done anything that separates himself from other players. He has no signature moves. Jayson Tatum has no signature moves. He's a great all-around basketball player. I do not take that from him. I think he's an excellent superstar in the league. However, why does this keep coming up about him? Why is this a debate? This is coming up constantly. And I think the reason is because he's just never been the clear-cut best player in the league, and he has no signature move. Ja Morant is flying through the air. He's flying through the air. He's a small guard flying through the air. He's got a commercial of himself flying as high as he possibly could dream of, that anyone can dream of, in the sky. That's Ja Morant. All Tatum talks about is, his mom was a single mom. His mom was harder than he is in the paint. Like, nobody cares. I get it. Like, he's boring, right? But I don't think that he's lacking in charisma. I don't think he's lacking in storyline. He's got no signature move. No signature move mixed with never been the best player in the league. That's why people are hard-pressed to call him a superstar. And when you have Jaylen Brown on your team and you have not always been the clear-cut best player on your team, that's also the problem. There's a debate about who is the best player on his team. And you can have two superstars on one team. You absolutely can have that. And they are two superstars. In my opinion, both Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum are superstars in this league. So I think we need to stop saying that they're not superstars. Is Jayson Tatum underrated? In my estimation, no. I do not think he's underrated. He is a superstar. People are getting that wrong about him. The media is disrespecting him by saying he's not a superstar when he is. They need to stop saying that. But he's not underrated. He's ranked top 5 in MVP votes right now. That's not underrated. Nothing is underrated about that. So is Jayson Tatum underrated? That's the question. What do you guys think? Yes, Social Calm. He shoots too many threes. Eden Jr., salute to you. Tatum is great. I just can't stand the extra dribbling he often uses to score. He could be much more efficient. I agree. He's got elements of LeBron's game in him. The dribbling. And also, when Tatum goes to the rim, it's a little weak oftentimes. He's weak when he drives to the rim. He misses layups. He missed layups and dunks in the Olympics. Tatum is like Duncan. He just plays ball. He doesn't get involved in drama, and I'm fine with that. But he does get involved. He begs for MVPs. I mean, his hands are not always completely clean. He cries that he's underappreciated when he's not. He's a top 5 player in the league, and the media is saying that, and they're saying that he's top 5 in MVP votes, but they're hard-pressed to give it to him. And I don't blame them when you have a player like SGA and you have other guys that are doing more for their team. Jayson Tatum's signature move is winning. That is right. They won. That's a flex. He has that to flex. And I would prefer the titles than the individual accolades, because winning titles is about winning as a team. So I'm with you. No strays entertainment. Stop it. Duncan was much greater. Absolutely. Colin Coward, another media clown. I couldn't agree more. Gotcha. I don't care about charisma. I care about skills. No one is skilled in the NBA compared to the past. They're skilled players, but they're not the combination that I personally want to see and most NBA fans want to see of skill and athleticism. And that's what's really required in order to be great, to be considered a great player in this league. I'm not going to remember Luka Doncic's passes. I don't give a shit about that. I'm going to remember John Morant flying through the air. I'm not going to remember Giannis Antetokounmpo galloping down the court like a goddamn giraffe, bum rushing his way through the lane, taking 9-10 happy feet steps into the paint, carrying the ball over his head. Nobody wants to see. I mean, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see such low-skilled players in this league. But that's what we've been blessed with. That's what the NBA is giving us. That's what the NBA gods are giving NBA fans. That's what they believe that we deserve. JB is great, but last night's game versus OKC proves there's levels. JB was nowhere to be found. Absolutely. There are levels, and there's some times when JT is nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter. So God forbid he has to step up for once in the fourth quarter, and it's not Jaylen Brown. God forbid. I see Tatum and Brown as Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars in a way. In a way. Do you think he's Grant Hill? That's an interesting comparison. I loved Grant Hill. I thought he was just an incredible player. I think that Jayson Tatum is a lot more sturdy than Grant Hill. He won a title on the easiest path, WTH. I mean, WTF. What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to not win the title? Because I've seen other teams have a path to the finals and they just decide to shit the bed. The Celtics rose to the occasion and they played the Mavericks in the finals. That wasn't an easy path. They were playing uphill against the Mavericks. They had to blow them out in order to make sure that they won that title. Yeah, they won in 5. They won handedly, but they had to make sure that they had their heads in the game enough to attack Luka Doncic, get him fouled out. They had to fight against the referees. They had to ensure a blowout. That was the only way to beat the Mavericks and Luka Doncic last season. So they were smart enough to be able to do that. OKC couldn't do it. Why not? That's not an easy path. But yeah, I don't think Jayson Tatum is underrated, guys. So moving along, we're going to move on to our next topic of the night, and that's Jeanie Buss. Jeanie Buss, she's been, making some comments lately. And lately, she mentioned that she was worried that she was going to have to hire a new head coach when JJ Redick and his family, when they suffered, their home was gone in the LA fires. And there was an article on fadeaway.net. Jeanie Buss was worried JJ Redick's wife would leave LA after wildfires burned down their house. And the article continues. JJ Redick has been an incredible head coach find for the Los Angeles Lakers. The rookie coach is proving all the doubters wrong with his tactical aptitude. But Lakers owner Jeanie Buss revealed on Julian Edelman's podcast that she was afraid of losing him as a coach after his family's house burned down in the LA wildfires. Thankfully, Redick's wife and family wanted to stay in the city and help rebuild the community. I was worried that his wife was going to say, okay, I'm out. I'm done. This was not meant to be. Instead, they realized they wanted to be part of the rebuilding community. They've already taken their place in the Laker family. The article continues, Redick and his family had to evacuate their house due to the fires. However, he put things into perspective very well, noting that he didn't want people to feel sorry for him after he had suffered this loss. The NBA community came together to support him, and Stephen Curry giving Redick's son signed jerseys to make up for them losing their jersey collection in the fires. It's wonderful to hear that Redick and his family have adjusted so well to life with the Lakers. Of course, Redick and his wife Chelsea will be familiar with life in Los Angeles as Redick played for the Lakers' crosstown rivals, the Clippers, from 2013 to 2017. But now, as head coach of the Lakers, Redick gets to experience life as a member of the Purple and Gold. The article continues, Redick has been marvelous. They use the word marvelous as head coach, transforming the Lakers into a strong offensive and defensive team, especially in the aftermath of the Luka Doncic trade. Despite having no starting level center at his disposal, Redick has drilled his players to play hard and defend aggressively on a nightly basis. Redick looking to course correct Lakers form. The last 2 games have seen the Lakers' impressive 7-game win streak come to an end as they suffered consecutive losses to the Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets. The loss to the Celtics is understandable as they lost LeBron James to a groin injury midway through the game. And by the way, guys, it was not midway. They lost LeBron in the fourth quarter, I think 3 minutes in. But losing to the atrocious Nets, given the talent the Lakers had available, is unacceptable. The Lakers have a tough 3-game split coming up as they play the Milwaukee Bucks, Denver Nuggets, and Phoenix Suns, all away from home. Redick will have to figure out a way to overcome all 3 tough teams during this stretch if he wants the team to play competitive in the Western Conference come playoff time. The Lakers currently have a 40-23 record in the West, which is good enough for the 4th seed. However, it is important to note that they have played 3 fewer games than the 2 teams tied for the 2nd seed, the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. Should the Lakers win a good chunk of their coming games, they should be able to leapfrog them in the standings and secure the 2nd seed. LeBron James is in charge of deciding when he returns to the team. The All-Star returned to Los Angeles early to focus on his recovery, as he hopes to make a comeback soon and help the Lakers compete, especially in the playoffs. LeBron James is in charge of when he comes back, just like he was in charge of when he went down, right? Groin injury, my ass. In charge of when he comes back. What is he going to be back in a week mysteriously? Very interesting. I thought that it's really just laughable that JJ Redick is marvelous. He's being praised for his aptitude. He has suffered so many blowout losses this season. Spanked by like 60 in the preseason, blown out by 45 points by the Heat. I mean, so many blowouts this season, and it's marvelous. Tonight they were just blown out by the Bucks. I got it wrong. It was a 3-game losing streak. Now they've lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Nets. I mean, how do you explain that? How do you lose to the Nets? Somebody explain it to me. Oh, the Nets are a young athletic team and the Lakers are just not. The Lakers are a fat team with no defense, even though they're being touted as having the best defense. That was another thing. It's being said that the Lakers have the best defense. How? How do they have the best defense when 3 of their starters can't defend and won't defend? I struggle with that. I struggle with the Lakers having the best defense. Something's wrong with that picture. I take big issue with that. I really do. Jeanie Buss thought she had to hire a new coach. He was a great find. These articles, I mean, the glazing of JJ Redick is just off the wall. You can't make this up. He's a marvelous coach. He was a great head coach find with zero experience. I get it. The Lakers are in the second seed, but it's fake news. The third, second seed. I mean, the West Coast is god awful. I believe that the Warriors with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry have a greater ability to go deeper in the playoffs than the Lakers. I really believe that. I think the Warriors are the only legit team in the Western Conference right now outside of OKC. I think that every other team is fake news and a joke. And what I want to see are Warriors versus OKC. That's what I really want to see in the West. I would love to see Timberwolves come up. Timberwolves are a first-round knockout, especially if they're depending on Julius Randle to make a difference for them. But guys, do me a favor. As you load into the room, for those who have just joined the stream, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and share the video. Share it out on your social media. Spread the word for Sports Tea. What do you guys think? Why is Jeanie Buss coming out to say how great JJ Redick's vision is? That's why she hired him. He's got vision. What's his vision? His vision is to keep his job. He needs to learn how to coach Luka Doncic, especially with LeBron James being out. If Luka looks bad on the floor, it's going to be problems for JJ Redick. His job will be on the line. Great comment, Spursian. Corporate media has their own narrative with the help of the league. Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to move on to the next topic, and we're going to take calls at the end of the show. So we'll take about 2-3 calls maybe, and then we'll end the stream. But yeah, we've talked about Jeanie Buss. We've talked about Jayson Tatum being a superstar or not being a superstar in the league. We broke down this OKC Celtics game. They're playing good basketball. I mean, not the Celtics. The Celtics are playing an awful brand of basketball, but they're still in the lead in the Eastern Conference. Cavaliers are the elite team to beat in the East, and OKC is the elite team to beat in the West. And Celtics are showing that they are a second seed. They are showing that they are also playing around with different strategies. I don't believe that they're going to bring high volume 3-point shooting above 40 shots a game into the postseason. If they do, they are going to lose handedly and be knocked out in the first round. Jayson Tatum is, in fact, a superstar in this league. That's my estimation. Jeanie Buss, she is delusional about JJ Redick, and he will disappoint her. I hate that they are putting all their eggs into JJ Redick, into that basket, and Luka Doncic's a fat ass who's not going to do much for the Lakers in LeBron James' absence. And LeBron James will have to come back as the number 2 option and be the hero, and Luka will get all the credit for that. So moving along to Stephen A. Smith, and, he has dismissed Kobe Bryant as being in the GOAT conversation. He thinks that there's no way that Kobe Bryant should even be considered. He said this multiple times, but he's reiterated this point again recently. He did mention this again on the Gil's Arenas podcast. And he was asked flat out, talk to me about your Kobe take and why he's not in the GOAT conversation for you. So let's hear what he had to say. I'm going to play this soundbite for you guys right now. And let's hear it. We'll react.
Kobe on your all-time list, and why does he fall short of the GOAT conversation in your eyes?
He's easily top 10, probably top 5. He's not my GOAT because he's number 2 as an off guard. So because he didn't eclipse Jordan, he's number 2. And because we're making the argument about LeBron in terms of his versatility, being a guy that can play 4 different positions, being a point forward, being a guy that's a 27-point per game scorer, and kind of things that he's been able to do, we have him on the Mount Rushmore. Nobody's resume supersedes that of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar outside of Bill Russell. But we know that Bill Russell wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a talent. He was as a leader and a champion and a winner. 11 titles in 13 years. But when you look at Kareem and the all-time scoring champion before LeBron eclipsed him, the only individual in the history of the sport with one patented move that was considered unstoppable. Everybody knew the sky hook. 6-time champion, 19-time all-star, what he was able to do. But LeBron's resume, in a lot of people's eyes, 10 NBA finals, 4 MVPs, 4 championships, and what he's been able to do with his versatility. I look at Kobe, and even though I would rather have Kobe, particularly in tight situations, my attitude was Kobe's number 2 off guard. So automatically, I didn't think about him as the GOAT.
He didn't think about him as the GOAT. He's an off guard at number 2. So he's number 2 all time as an off guard. So he doesn't think of him as the GOAT. Interesting, Stephen A. He really's got, so Stephen S. Smith has got this guy, LeBron James, over Kobe Bryant. How? How is that even possible? I can't make what Stephen S. Smith just said make sense. LeBron James doesn't come close to Kobe Bryant as a player. He doesn't come close to Michael Jordan and what Michael Jordan is able to do as a player. So if he doesn't even come close to Michael Jordan, how could he be anywhere near Kobe Bryant as a player? When all he knows how to do is bum rush the lane. He has no signature moves, can't shoot the ball. At age 40 years old, he's shooting set shots. Nobody's willing to guard him, so he's getting a lot of wide open three-point shots that are falling. Good for LeBron. I mean, you can shoot at 40 when there's no pressure. So LeBron can shoot the ball when there's no pressure. So basically, he's the guy that you don't want to give the ball to in crunch time. We still can't give him the ball in the fourth quarter. And yeah, he's hit a couple big shots in the fourth quarter as of late to be the hero as a number 2 option. But you give him the shot for that last shot, he's going to miss. We know this, guys. LeBron's not the guy. Kobe was the guy. Stephen S. Smith is willing to give Kobe Bryant the ball in late game situations, but he's got LeBron James ranked over him. That doesn't make any sense. The guy that I'm going to give the ball to, the guy that I'm going to pick to play on my team, I've got him ranked higher. LeBron James isn't top 20 for me. I know some people are going to say that's crazy, but he's not a top 10 player all time. You want to call him top 10 of this era, of the Steph Curry era? Great. But I'm not going to call this the LeBron James era. It's not. It's the Steph Curry era. Nobody wants to play like LeBron. I mean, besides Giannis, you have low-skilled players that want to play like LeBron. You have fat players that want to play like LeBron because you can create a system around a fat player who looks like a dad bod. Anybody can just hold the ball for, 44 minutes for 22 seconds out of 24 seconds of every shot clock and figure out how to get the ball to an open shooter or to drive it and kick. So, you can figure that out. It's a very simple offense. High screen and roll. Bum rush the lane. Back up and bum rush the lane. Kobe Bryant did a lot more than that. He didn't need 2, 3 superstars on one team to win titles either. Kobe Bryant was an elite player. LeBron James is not. LeBron James could never play in triangle offense. Is LeBron a great player of today's generation? Absolutely. He's one of the sports heroes today. Okay? But he's not that guy. He's not Kobe Bryant. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not top 5. He's not top 10. Somebody wants to throw him in the top 20, fine, but I don't have him ranked higher than Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. Just don't. Players today are soft. They don't play defense. They have one-dimensional offense. Nobody's running anything intricate in the NBA today. Cavaliers are elite. They are elite from inside out. OKC is playing good basketball. The Bucks are playing good basketball. Believe it or not, Giannis Antetokounmpo, alongside his team, they are playing good team basketball. Salute to you, Prodigal, for the $10 super sticker. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Smiley Smile, thank you. And salute to you for the $20 super chat. Stephen S. Smith needs to shut up. I couldn't agree with you more. But, you know, the sports media world, it kind of moves with Stephen S. Smith, unfortunately. You know, he's gone into the YouTube streets. He's infiltrated the podcast world. It seems like he's offering Gilbert Arenas a deal. Gilbert Arenas it seems like he's going to be on ESPN. He's going to be a contributor on First Take. That's what it looks like. He's offering bags to YouTube content creators to get them on his side, to get them on First Take side. He sees the future of influencers, content creation. Kobe Bryant he's better than LeBron James by a wide margin. But what do you guys think? Call in, talk to me nice. I want to hear from you guys. I'll read some comments in the meantime while we're waiting for some calls. I can afford to take 1 or 2 calls. Yeah. I think if you guys call in now, we might be able to get 3 of them in. I'm tired of Jokic winning MVPs for reasons they said Russ was stat padding. I'm just tired of Jokic winning the MVP. He's got 1 title. He's not the number 1 seed. I think that he's suffered some embarrassing losses this season. I think he's had some embarrassing performances. I really do. The NBA favors him. The refs are cheating for Denver. Oftentimes, cheating for Jokic. Sports D and Stephen A. Smith should have a debate on basketball. I don't know. Stephen A. Smith will probably try to treat me like Monica McNutt. I don't think it would work. But I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to be like the ladies on his current show that really have to glaze him and have to say how great he is. Kobe Bryant he's elite. And for him to be in the conversation with Michael Jordan and for LeBron to be nowhere near either of them, but yet we're elevating LeBron over Kobe Bryant is crazy to me. absolutely crazy. And the logic that Stephen A. Smith used behind it was just awful. I mean, guys, let's listen to it again. Let's play this Stephen A. Smith soundbite again where he's making no sense.
Kobe on your all-time list, and why does he fall short of the GOAT conversation in your eyes?
He's easily top 10, probably top 5. He's not my GOAT because he's number 2 as an off guard. So because he didn't eclipse Jordan, he's number 2. And because we're making the argument about LeBron in terms of his versatility, being a guy that can play 4 different positions, being a point forward, being a guy that's a 27-point per game scorer, and kind of things that he's been able to do, we have him on the Mount Rushmore. Nobody's resume supersedes that of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar outside of Bill Russell. But we know that Bill Russell wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a talent. He was as a leader and a champion and a winner, 11 titles in 13 years. But when you look at Kareem and the all-time scoring champion before LeBron eclipsed him, the only individual in the history of the sport with one patented move that was considered unstoppable. Everybody knew the sky hook. 6-time champion, 19-time all-star, what he was able to do. But LeBron's resume, in a lot of people's eyes, 10 NBA finals, 4 MVPs, 4 championships, and what he's been able to do with his versatility. I look at Kobe, and even though I would rather have Kobe, particularly in tight situations, my attitude was Kobe's number 2 off guard. So automatically, I didn't think about him as the GOAT.
I'd rather have Kobe in tight situations. I can't get over that. Stephen A. Smith has made a complete fool of himself with this take. He's had so many excuses over the years why Kobe Bryant's just not in the GOAT debate. Before, he couldn't explain it. Then it became that it was because he was a number 2 to Shaq in the first 3 of his titles. Then it became that Kobe Bryant doesn't have the resume, only 1 MVP in his career. Then it became that he was a selfish player and he didn't score against Phoenix and he decided not to score in the 4th quarter. What else? Then it's Colorado. Like, why do we have all these excuses? Now he's the 2nd best guard all time. That's what he's saying. He's the 2nd best off guard. So if you are the 2nd best off guard, you can play the best basketball off the ball, but LeBron James is somehow elevated above him. Stephen A. Smith has been paid to say that. He's clearly, that's the handshake deal between Clutch. Okay, fine. You will not say that he's better than Jordan. You've got to give us that he's at least better than Kobe. You have to make this race between Michael Jordan and LeBron. We have to orchestrate this whole discussion. Clutch sports, man. Clutch kills. I'm telling you. Clutch sports attacks again. It's like they have no chill. So if you don't call LeBron James the greatest player of all time while he was playing, that's considered hate. But Kobe Bryant is not considered the greatest of all time, yet he's a clone of Michael Jordan, and we just skip over him. He's just not even in the discussion. So it's not that not only will we not even consider him for the GOAT, like he's just not even in the discussion. So he can't be ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's insane to me. Stephen A. Smith is saying that Kobe Bryant is not even in his top 5. And not for the reasons that I might use for keeping Kobe out of my top 5.
Drew, California.
Salute to you, Drew. Thanks for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice.
Hey, what's up, Dom? How you been?
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to just real quick, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I wanted to talk about something that what Stephen A. Smith was saying about LeBron, the whole Kobe and Jordan and LeBron thing. Stephen A. mentioned that like LeBron, he's like this versatile guy. And when you talk to a lot of like LeBron fans, they always talk about how like they talk about how like LeBron is so elite at like, everything, and he can play 1 through 5 and he can guard 1 through 5. And man, like I'm just tired of hearing that shit, bro, because when you look at LeBron's career, that wasn't the case. That was hardly ever the case. Like, there's moments, there's small portions in LeBron's career, his 22-year career where he was good or maybe even great at certain things, but that, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't, I don't think there's enough evidence to show that he's so incredibly versatile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. I don't think that LeBron James is versatile at all. I think that he's a one-dimensional player. I think that he has literally no signature moves. He has no ability to truly create offense besides bum rushing the lane, running full head of steam, initiating offense with a high screen. Basically, his teammates are just there to work for him, stand in the corner and shoot threes when he can't get a shot off. He's just not a multi-level scorer the way that Kobe Bryant is. Kobe Bryant is an elite scorer. He's one of the best scorers in all of NBA history. And he is a great two-way player. Great on the ball defender. I mean, he locked up LeBron James. He locked his ass up.
Yeah. All-star game and all that.
Of course. I don't know how we just forget about that. It's like Stephen A. forgets these kinds of moments.
Yeah, man. And like, like since he's been, well, he's 40 years old now, but like throughout his 30s, LeBron, like he hasn't won any individual accolades. Like he never led the league in scoring while in his 30s. He never led the league in rebounds. He had like one season during the COVID year where he led the league in assists. That was a shortened season. So like, again, everybody keeps saying like, oh, he's so elite at doing everything. He's so elite. He can play all 5 positions, this and that. Well, look, dude, how come he never had a season like what Jordan did in 1988 when he won all those individual awards? You know what I mean? MVP, scoring title, defensive player of the year, steals leader, all that stuff. Like he's never like Bron has never come close to doing that stuff at all at any point in his career. So every time I hear Stephen A. Smith or other people say that about him, I'm just like, I just kind of roll my eyes. Like I'm at this point, like I'm tired of hearing that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame you for being tired of it because it's a narrative and these are lies. It's not true. And they bank on folks believing these lies because nobody actually watches NBA games anymore. So fans like myself, people who love the sport are watching, but a lot of us aren't. A lot of us are just not watching the NBA anymore. And that's what ESPN, that's what LeBron James and Clutch Sports bank on. So they create these narratives and they tell lies because they might be able to show something in a highlight. They might be able to show LeBron taking all these shots and they don't even show whether they fall or not, similar to Bronny James. And you think all these great things are happening, but again, that's a highlight. You see him dunking the ball, but you didn't see that the possession right before that, he turned the ball over, didn't run back on defense, and was just waiting at the other side of the court for a long pass. So, and this happens often. This happens with him. It happens with Luka. This is what they do. And again, because most people are not watching these games, all 4 quarters of the game. A lot of people are not even watching the first or the second half. They're not even watching a full quarter of the game. And so, it makes it really, I think, it makes it difficult to dispel these narratives, right? And content creators like Ticket TV, Man Down Sports, the Format Podcast, just all of us in this space, that have to try to dispel Too Raw, Uncommon Sense, NBA Cinema. These are a bunch of different channels that are out here just trying to tell the truth.
hmm Yeah, like
And it's not
I'm pretty
easy.
sure.
It's not
Yeah,
easy.
I'm pretty sure like Clutch Sports and like, LeBron's people, I'm pretty sure, man, like they know about these channels. Like I feel like they know what they're saying, and they've been trying to find ways to like either like try to battle their content, you know what I mean, trying to counter their messages and stuff like that. That's something that I've always wondered.
Yeah. No, I mean, and someone said it. Too raw for TV as well. Yep, I always just say too raw. So too raw for TV, Carcino for life. These are channels that on a daily basis we're exposing NBA lies, narratives, Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, Clutch Sports. We're exposing these jokers, these fools. We're exposing these liars for damaging the NBA and ruining the integrity of the sport. We're exposing them on a daily basis. But it's not enough because the mainstream media is so strong. They're overpowering us with all of these lies. They're pushing out lies in a viral manner. And so it's a lot to combat, but we're working every day to do this. And I'm not going to stop telling the truth. Too Raw for TV is not going to stop telling the truth. Ticket TV is not going to stop. Man Down's not going to stop. And there's trolls that will come in here, calling me all kinds of names, right? There's people, they create so many different accounts to try to come on this channel and be negative and try to stop us from telling the truth. But it's not going to work. We're going to continue telling the truth. We're going to stay, we're going to have the integrity that we want to see in the league. We're going to have the integrity that we want to see, mainstream media have. We're going to keep telling the truth on our channels.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Dom, real quick before I get out of here, I just wanted to talk real quick about the Minnesota Timberwolves and what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, Ant's my favorite player. That's my guy. I think it's really interesting right now how, it seems like they're peaking at the right time. They got a 6-game winning streak. I think they're going to extend it. I think they can make it to like a 10-game winning streak. But I think one of the reasons why they're playing so good right now is because when Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo were injured, I think that gave them time to sit back and watch the games and see how the team plays, and they were able to like understand what their role should be and what they need to do to help the team win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the reason why they're playing much better, and the team and the offense is running a lot more smoother and efficiently. And, I know that people, especially like Knicks fans, they have bad memories of Julius Randle, and, they have their opinions and they feel how they feel. But I think in the playoffs, I don't think you're going to see the same Julius Randle that you saw in the past when he was with the Knicks. The reason is because I think he's just, it's a different team. It's a different situation. And he's going to be playing a different role. You're seeing it right now, the way that he's playing, if anybody watches the Wolves games. And so I think because Randle is playing a different role, he's not being asked to carry the team. I don't think he's going to be the same way that he was in New York when they were trying to make that playoff run. I think it's going to be different. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, maybe he does, I don't know, fuck it up. Who knows? But like, I think this time with him, it'll be different. And, I know one interesting stat right now, cause I was checking it out on NBA.com. There are only 4 teams right now in the league that have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. The Timberwolves are one of them. The other 3 is the Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, and the OKC Thunder. That's it. I think that's saying something. I think the Wolves are loaded. They got a lot of firepower. They got the deepest bench in the NBA, in my opinion. And I think they're peaking at the right time. And who knows, maybe they can get back to the conference finals and maybe beyond. But yeah, I just wanted to, talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah,
So yeah,
no,
thanks for letting me call in.
I think that the Timberwolves were a good team last season. I don't think that they are this season, and I think that Randall is still awful. And I wouldn't wish him on any team. I just don't think he's a good player. That left hand is all that he has, and it's a bad left hand. It's an ugly shot as well, and he will pout and be a negative, I think, influence on the Timberwolves. I really do believe that. In postseason, he's going to get frustrated and he's not going to be able to play through pressure defense. He struggles with pressure defense. He struggles when he doesn't get calls. And I think that you're going to see that come postseason. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to be not happy with him and his play.
I mean, it remains to be seen,
Yeah. I mean, that's my
we'll see.
prediction, but Drew,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, and I'm rooting for Ant-Man. I love his game, and I want to see him, do well. I just think that what you have is wishful thinking for him. You want to see the Timberwolves do well. You want to see Ant-Man do well, so you want to believe in Julius Randle, and that kind of wishful thinking is what anybody would want for their team or their favorite player in the league. So, and I'm not saying that you're delusional. I'm just saying that my prediction is that they're a first round knockout.
Yeah, I understand. I know you're a Knicks fan, and you remember when he was, what it was like when he was on the Knicks, and you witnessed all that stuff.
It was a cancer.
But me, I'm just looking at the games. I'm looking at the stats as well.
Yeah.
And they seem to be playing really great basketball right now.
Yeah. The Knicks were a great regular season team as well, Drew. Julius Randle played very well in regular season. Didn't he get the most improved player award? That first season when the Knicks kind of broke out as having their best season. I mean, not their best season, but they returned to the playoffs for the first time in several seasons before Jalen Brunson got there. So that was 2021 when they went to the playoffs, and they were bounced in the first round, but they made it. They still made the playoffs, and everybody was so happy, and everybody celebrated that. And so, but Julius Randle played god awful. I think he averaged 8 points that year in the playoffs. He just literally played like shit. And then the second year did it again. He did not play very well in the postseason alongside Jalen Brunson when he had a legitimate point guard in a floor general. So I don't believe in Julius Randle. Anthony Edwards is going to have to work overtime to carry him in the Timberwolves this postseason. Rudy Gobert is a dud, and they're not going to be able to go anywhere. That's just my prediction. But again, I'm wishing Ant-Man well. I love his game, and I want to see the Timberwolves make a run if they can.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Even if Randall starts to play poorly again, just sit him down and put Naz Reid in and take care of business that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm very curious to see what happens. And thanks for letting me call in, man. Love the show.
Of course. Thank you so much for calling in, Drew. We love your calls.
For sure. Peace.
Alrighty. Bye-bye. What a great call from Drew. Blockchain Easy, salute to you. LeBron is a flop machine. Absolutely. Did you see that flop that he had right before he faked this groin injury? That big ass flop. Jayson Tatum driving in the lane, little slight elbow chippy to the chin, and LeBron's gonna throw himself back like a dramatic queen. I just couldn't believe him. But yeah, LaFlop, that's his legacy. Also, Bronny is trash. Certainly is. And I don't think that we're going to see him on the floor playing alongside Luka Doncic ever. Yes, everybody, please go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the Sports Tea channel. Share the video to your network, to social media. Spread the word about Sports Tea. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Anthony Davis was the final MVP that year in 2020. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice.
Hey, what up, Sports Tea?
Hey, who's this? Who do we have on the line?
It's Isaiah Rashad, Cooley Brown in
What's
the
going on,
building.
Isaiah? How's it going? All right, so answer this question for me. Answer this question for me. Do you
Yeah, I
think
can.
that Kobe Bryant is, or I'm sorry, do you think that LeBron James should be elevated above Kobe Bryant? Do you think that Kobe belongs in the GOAT discussion?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this sports thing. I'm gonna have to keep it 100.
Yeah.
And I love your intro. Talk to me nice, calling God.
Thank you
Talk to
so
me
much.
nice.
Thank
Go.
you so much. So in a minute or less, so you got 30 seconds.
Unknown caller.
Oh, okay. Looks like somebody else was calling. Oh.
Hello?
Thanks for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice.
Oh yeah, I was just watching the show.
Who do we have on the line?
Nah, this Elton. I had called the other day.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
So what do you think? Do you think that Kobe Bryant should be dismissed from the GOAT combo?
That sounds so. That sounds. It sounds so stupid because the fact that these people get paid to say stupid shit. Like Stephen A. I got documented years that Stephen A. says is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I don't care if LeBron wins how many rings. And what pissed me off that like even Michael Jordan said 5 beats 4. Mike got 6. Kobe got 5. But it's a lot of times that Stephen A. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, them two best players. But I don't know, these people get paid to say stupid stuff, and that's why I don't like those guys. And LeBron James does not know the triangle. He don't even know how to do he don't know the triangle. And what's crazy that people don't know that LeBron James played with more Hall of Fame, top 75 players than Kobe and Mike. If people do the history on who on his list that he played with. And what's crazy that talking about skills, Kobe Bryant went to the Rutgers because I'm from up there from New Jersey, I'm left from New York. Kobe went to the Rutgers Park in New York, where they got the top ballers, street ballers, and one players in the history and went out there and was cooking them. It's on YouTube. I think Vince Carter went, KD went, LeBron can't because you don't want to get embarrassed because people gonna be like, oh, you in the NBA. Yeah, let's see how you really hit. Kobe was out there. It started to rain, and the game got shut down. Like he's not skillful. These people. LeBron was the only really good move he got, that power, that drive move, and you know what I mean. He don't have no really skill. He's not a skilled basketball player. And I'm not gonna be long. I'm gonna let you go, but back I heard something about earlier about Jayson Tatum. These same people like Stephen A. Oh, Jayson Tatum, he's the best player on the Celtics. Won NBA Finals. He didn't get the MVP. Now they bashing him. Now, I mean, I get it, but for years he was the best player on the Celtics, better than Jaylen Brown. But I don't like how they be trying to play Jayson Tatum. You know what I mean? Like like the MVP doesn't matter. Iguodala got the MVP. I mean, he wasn't the best player on the team because of the job he did on LeBron James. Draymond Green was gonna get the MVP had they won that game against the Cavs. So these cats, they just be switching up. And but anyway, man, I just called him like there was no way Kobe Bryant is second. I mean, LeBron James better than Kobe Bryant. No way, no how. 5 beats 4, and not like I said, he ran to win it. You know what I mean? And these cats just be saying anything, and like, well, shout out to you, man. I don't want to be too long, but like, there is no way the Black Mamba, like LeBron's better than Black Mamba. No way in hell.
There's just no way. I mean,
finals,
there's just no way.
Finals, you lost 4. Yeah, you won the 10 final, you lost 4, and you took the easy route too. You swung a super 10. Kobe never left. Had Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Chris Byers was on the Miami team, they would have swept the Mavericks. Like I keep telling people, like you had the dude named JJ Redick. LeBron James had him. He was like 5-something, Puerto Rican dude on the Miami Heat team. And you claim to me, JJ Redick, he's 5-something. And you, come on, man. And you couldn't even do nothing with JJ Redick. Like, you average 16 points a game in the NBA final, and, like, come on, there was no way. You get Kobe that team, the Mavericks get swept. I love Jordan Biscuit, but the Mavericks get swept. Because Kobe would have fouled him out. Like, come on, who is, like, come on. Like, I don't know. These people, I don't blame the new generation, but these older folks know the deal. They just be acting like they don't know basketball. They know who the two go-tos, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Everybody look up to Michael Jordan when it was coming up. Vince Carter, the Allen Iverson. But only one perfected was Kobe that came next to him. And it's certain things Kobe did better than Mike. He shot. His handle was better than Mike. People really notice that. If you watch the Rutgers game, like Kobe really got skills. People, but yeah, I don't want to be too long, man.
I mean, LeBron James wouldn't even compete in something like that.
Man,
you know?
LeBron James, they ain't had the guts to go. I wish LeBron James would have won the Rutgers Park in New York City. They would have kicked his ass because them boys got skills. Kobe went there and was giving. If I'm like, go on YouTube, you'll see it's on YouTube. Kobe had the Rutgers Park in New York.
Yeah,
LeBron James couldn't do it because he's not that skillful.
Yeah,
Kobe is doing some and one move like they do in the videos.
Yeah, we would never see LeBron participate in something like that. We just wouldn't see it.
KD went there.
Even Kevin Durant.
And KD was kicking. Yeah, Kevin Durant was there too at the Rutgers Park. We do Kevin Durant at the Rutgers Park in New York.
Kevin Durant is dead nice. So, you know, I'm
just saying that certain NBA players scared to go to the Rutgers Park because you would get embarrassed because you got some of the greatest
I know.
ballers.
So like I'm from over there. Okay. So like I'm
from
I'm from New York. You know, I'm not from the Rucker. So let me be clear. I lived in Harlem.
But the Rutgers Park,
you know, that just being in that environment and, you know, going to some of those games and seeing it's just real.
Mm-hmm.
It's real ballers that go there to play, and LeBron James wouldn't be a part of any of that. So,
I heard something earlier you were saying about the Boston Celtics. I think that the Boston Celtics. I don't think that the number one seed matters to them. I don't think they care about the number one seed.
I don't think that. I think not only do they not care about the number one seed, they don't care about any of the teams that are currently playing. So I think that they're playing a joke, but I do think that they need to, it's all fun and games till you hit the postseason. So I think that they need to begin to, you know, play their real game so that they can practice that in game time, you know, but I do think
all that matters to them.
I think it's part of their plan. I think it's part of their plan to confuse the rest of the league and NBA teams so that they cannot prepare for them come postseason. That's what I believe that Boston is doing. They are trying to confuse all, you know, of the elite teams and have them believe that their strategy will just be to shoot volume threes and play the perimeter. Yeah. I think that they plan to switch it up come postseason.
Yeah, and me being a Lakers fan, my whole life, I'm not a LeBron fan, I'm a Lakers fan, but I don't want to see Golden State. People keep sleeping on Golden State.
I'm not. They just won, and somebody just wrote it in the chat. They just won their 6 game straight. And I mean, when you have Steph Curry and you have a player like Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry knows what to do when he has a piece that can work for him. He knows how to make the best of the pieces that he's been put on the board to have. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, it's never enough help for them. But Steph Curry knows what to do when he gets great players on his team.
We see Golden State first round, it'll be a problem. We might go home.
Big problem. Big problem.
But I'm not going to others because, you know, like, so who you got who you got coming out the West? What you got about OKC? What you think about that? I know they're young.
So I have OKC coming out of the West, and if it's not OKC, then it's the Warriors. And I still, honestly, I need to see more. No, I don't have the Nuggets.
Well,
coming out of the
Jamal Murray's
West.
not that healthy. Jamal Murray he ain't really healthy like that. He's not the same since he got hurt.
The Nuggets are an unserious team.
That's because Murray's not that. He's not 100%. He's not the same Murray when he got hurt.
Their team is not the same, and it's mainly because they gave up rotational pieces on their team every season that hurt their team more and more each season. The year that they won the title, right after that, they traded Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown was a pivotal piece for them in the finals.
Oh yeah, Bruce Brown. Yeah, he was like that.
Last season, they traded. They traded KCP. They keep letting go of pieces that can help them, and their team is getting worse season over season, not better. So Russell Westbrook, yes, he is playing better for them, but he's not. He's not the ingredient that they need.
What I will say though, we only beat the Nuggets one time. Every time we face them, we got ass kicked. So I'm not really gonna sleep on because every time we play them, we damn, they got swept. So I ain't really gonna sleep on them like that. We won that one game against them, and the whole NBA world was going crazy. The Lakers beat the Nuggets. Okay, when it matters, that's when it really counts.
The Lakers can't beat any serious team, in my opinion. They might be able to beat they might be able to beat the Nuggets now, but they're only going to beat the Nuggets because there's two leaders of the FNBA on their teams, and the refs have to pick one. So they have to. They're either going to pick Jokic to cheat for, or they're going to pick Luka, but they can't pick both. They can only pick one leader of the FNBA. So when they face off against each other, they have to decide, who are we going to prioritize today? And usually it's whoever's got the home court advantage. That's what they do. I was
just about to say the same thing, the home court advantage. Yep, you're 100% correct. The home court advantage.
Yeah. Honestly, my hot take is that the Warriors are coming out of the West. I think that OKC is up against what I like to call the second round hole. And the second round hole means that you can't get out of the goddamn second round, that you're a good team all regular season long, and you know, you go through the first round, you look like, are they going to pull it out? They get through the first round, and then they're out in the second round. They can't make it to the Western Conference Finals. OKC hasn't been able to do that. So I don't know if I believe them making it to the Western Conference Finals until they do it. I'm not going to believe them in going to the conference finals until they actually do it with SGA. What I saw last season is that the refs cheated for Luka Doncic in that second round series, and then they were bumped. They were bumped. They took OKC out of their game. Chet Holmgren is a little weak for me. He's got like that Wemby-like body. I don't know if he's going to hold up. I don't know if he's going to hold up and make it into the postseason or make a deep run. He might get injured, or he might just play like poop because he doesn't have the experience.
Every time you sneeze, he won't foul.
We don't know. We don't know, right? So
every time you he like LeBron. Every time you sneeze, he won't foul. Got his hand up like, bro, play basketball. Even Lil Wayne even said it. Like, he cried too much. Bro, play basketball. Like, you won't foul on every play.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in the Steph Curry era of basketball right now. That's what we're in, and I think. Look, I would love to see the Warriors come out of the West. That would be a great story for them coming into getting off to such an ugly start, looking like a goddamn G League team. The Warriors look like they were not an NBA team. They look like a G League team prior to Jimmy Butler being on that team. So I'd love to see them come out of the West, but I'd also love to see OKC get out of the second round and make it to the Western Conference Finals, and then go to the finals, and then face off against Cleveland or the Celtics, where they will likely get beat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna I was about to let me say something funny. I was in San Francisco, Santa Cruz, San Francisco, because my niece she had a tournament out there. So we was at our hotel was right there by the bowl, by the beach. So I had a Lakers jersey on, because the Bay Area, that Steph Curry city. So you should have seen how they were looking at me with a Lakers jersey on. And then when I made it back to the hotel room, my sister was like, "Oh, you made it back alive?" I said, "Yeah." They were looking at me crazy. The Lakers jersey, it was all Steph Curry.
Here's what I'll say about Warriors fans. They don't they're not violent, but they do love the Warriors. They love the Warriors, and San Francisco, the Bay Area, is a happier place, a better place when the Warriors are winning and when they're a good team. So thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate you. Great
thank you so much. Love your show.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Hit that like button.
Yes, like. Guys, run the likes up for me. Let's see where we're at with likes. Let's see. Oh, we're doing really good. 89 people, 86 likes. I love it. So, yeah, we're at 100% likes for the stream, and I appreciate you all. Like I said, share the video, get the word out there for Sports Tea. Salute to everybody who joined the stream tonight. Really, I had so much fun chatting with you all. Great calls, great engagement in the chat. I really appreciate you all, and I hope everyone has a good night. And I'll be back tomorrow, okay? And I'll see you then.